Hi, I'm John Bader, author of Dean's List. Choosing to be a pre-med is a common one for a lot of students at great universities all around the country. Today I'm going to talk about 5 myths about the pre-med experience. Number 1, there is only one way to get to medical school. There are many different ways of becoming a physician, and there are also many options within the medical field, from veterinary to nursing and so on. There really is not one way to do this because there are so many different programs of study and different ways that fit different people. So don't think that you have to go to a particular place, that you have to major in a particular subject, and that you have to do it exactly the way everyone else is doing. It's so important that you think of your college education as something that you own, that you have integrity when you do this, and by that I mean making your own choices to be your own people on your own path. Myth number 2. Myth number 2 is that you have to major in science, and this is completely wrong. It is certainly true that the pre-med requirements include many sciences, from physics, chemistry, biology. You have to take math, and all of these are designed to prepare you for the curriculum you would face in medical school. There's no doubt that medical schools do pay attention to your sciences and how well you do in them. They want to be sure that you can handle the science challenges ahead. But medicine is not all about science, and nor is medical school admissions all about science. Once you have taken care of those science requirements, or if you have embedded them into a longer course of study, you may even choose to do these after you graduated from college, you can really major in anything. Remember that a college admissions committee is assembling a class. They don't want everyone to look exactly the same. That's not very healthy for their community, and it doesn't reflect the realities of today's medicine. In fact, they would be interested in people from many different majors, whether it be in the social sciences or the humanities, languages. Someone, for example, who majored in Spanish would be able to work very closely with the Hispanic community as a physician, and that can be very valuable. Someone who studied anthropology would better understand the cultural challenges and problems facing their patients. So you can see that there are many ways that you could tap into the intellectual preparation for being a doctor. Myth number 3, you cannot study abroad. Studying abroad can be built into any college student's experience simply by planning it carefully and properly, often with the help of a study abroad advisor. This can mean moving your science requirements around, perhaps taking a physics course in the summer or doubling up another time, and then allowing enough room for a semester or even 2 overseas. There are also a growing number of programs available in many different countries, although primarily and most popularly in English-speaking countries, the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, and so on, where you can take a course of study in biology, physics, what have you, and have that count toward your requirements in the United States. So there is a great deal of flexibility on this front. There's also the possibility of studying abroad in a shorter context or in a different one. For example, you could use a January or intersession program to go abroad for 3 or 4 weeks. It's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. Summer programs can offer the same opportunities as can international volunteer opportunities where you can go and do something that might be medically related if you like. But do think about this and do not dismiss the possibility of studying abroad. Myth number 4, pre-meds are miserable and vulnerable to failure. This one actually has a mixed bag because, of course, it can be very difficult to do well in all of the pre-med courses. It's certainly a great challenge to take organic chemistry, physics, physical chemistry, math, calculus. These are all significant challenges, and not everyone is very good at them. But it's important to remember that those academic challenges can be faced as a community, together with your friends. This means putting together study groups, getting the help from instructors, using a tutoring center, maybe something called a study consultant that could help you be more efficient as a student. All of these resources are available to you, so you don't need to be miserable or unhappy. It is certainly true that some students do have bumps on this particular road to fulfilling pre-med requirements. That is natural. It happens again and again. You can always spread out these requirements, try them again if you need to, although it's very important that you approach each course very carefully and at a time that you're ready for it. So do remember that there are many ways to fulfill these requirements, that you don't need to be miserable about it, that you can get a lot of help, and that you can remember the inspiration that brought you there, the power of healing and the desire to help other people. And myth number 5. Medicine is a great choice for everyone who loves sciences. Just because you're good at science doesn't mean that this is the right choice for you. It's just the one that seems the most obvious. Since you've worked so hard at getting to a good college and that you work hard all the time in your courses to master them, think about the fact that you have given not a lot of thought and not a lot of work into figuring out what your career choices could be other than being a doctor. I'm not suggesting that you shouldn't be, but I am suggesting that you should be aggressive and creative about thinking about your alternatives. Talking to other people, getting mentors outside of medicine, using your career center, an underused resource at any college, will really help you to think more broadly, so that if you do change your mind about whether being a doctor is for you, you have alternatives. And I wish you well on that. Well, thank you for listening today as I talked about the 5 myths of being a pre-med. If you're interested in these issues and the 11 habits of highly successful college students, do check out the book Dean's List. And thanks for listening.